So I want to say a few things. So my parents were very good advocates for me, and the first time my mom had to advocate for me was when I was 3 or 4, when I was tested for a disability, and the psychologist who tested me said that I would never graduate from high school. I would never be able to be independent. So my mother cussed him out, and then she went to our pediatrician. And she told him what the psychologist said. He'll never go to college. He'll never graduate from high school or go to college or any of that stuff. And the pediatrician's like, you know what? We got plenty of other people to do that stuff, and I know he's going to be fine. So I'm fine. I did graduate from Towson University, and I have a college degree, and I have a good job where I support adults with developmental disabilities in employment settings. So my mom has always advocated for me and always believed in me that I would graduate and do the things that I wanted to do. My father also advocated for me when I was in high school when I was really struggling with the algebra. I was my sophomore year, and you're required to pass algebra and geometry to get a high school diploma. And that first, when I was a sophomore, I was just really struggling. It was stressful. So my dad called up my teacher and said, "I want him out of that class. He is always struggling. Under a lot of stress. Every night he's working on this homework for a long time, and he's just not getting it." So my father did advocate for me. Um, I had some good experiences in elementary school, especially when I attended Carl Sandburg from 1987 to 1990. I had some good teachers there who really helped me, learn how to read. And my mom reinforced it with me with Marvin Gaye movie, "Will You Please Go Now?" And I also had, that's where I learned to read, and I also learned some addition and subtraction. Carl Sandburg Learning Center is a completely different school now, and as part of how special education has gotten better, they have send kids like me where would go to their home schools, and they would get the supports right in their home districts, which is awesome. And they're placed in with gen ed kids, and gen ed kids are a lot more sympathetic to their learning disabled peers because for a long time when I was a kid, we were made the outcasts and we stood out. And I'm so glad it's gotten better. But kids with ADHD still face peer rejection. But even if they still face peer rejection now, there were always nice kids back when I went to Rachel Carson Elementary School, and there were some kids who were accepting and happy, but majority of the kids did not. So I want to end with one more thing. I teach at a Hebrew school, and one of the kids in my class is a kid with learning disability. I don't know what it is, but I know that he has some challenges. And we were watching a music video with people with disabilities singing "Stand By Me." And after the video, he said it was boring. He felt it was boring. Two of the kids thought that he was being offensive and said that he was being rude. But I decided not to listen to that. So I called him the next night and I said, "Why did you? What did you mean when you said it was rude? It was boring." And the child responded saying that he thought the video was cool. He just thought being in front of a computer for an hour was boring. So I made a new rule for that we're going to be starting this Sunday is that instead of saying, um, call it, if someone who says something that you're not sure of or that you don't agree with, ask them, what did you mean by that? If more people would do that instead of jumping to conclusions and saying you're rude or that was mean, that was stupid, we would get along a lot better. Good Shabbos.